Welcome to Laugh, Cry, or Die, a comedy disability podcast hosted by me, Steve Wilbury, who's not very good at having a body. As with me, as always, is my co-host, Naomi Strain.
Hello.
She is also shit at being alive, and we're gonna just talk about it today. How you doing,
Yeah.
Nay?
Yeah, I'm looking and feeling beautiful with my wonderful eye makeup. It's
So, for anyone
actually
not watching on the video, Naomi looks like she's been punched in the face by Mike Tyson.
I am sporting a wonderful black eye at the moment, and it's
You
actually a lot better than it was. Like when I woke up this morning, I couldn't open my eye, which is why I wanted to pod first thing. It would have looked so much better, but it's kind of melted into my face now, so I'm kind of swollen down here, down the side of my
Hmm.
cheek. But aren't the colours beautiful? Look
It's
how
really
dark it
coming up.
is.
It's
Yeah.
like I can really see the blood underneath your skin.
Mm. Do you know what? I was just in town and I bumped into a friend and we were standing chatting and this guy walked past and it's so sweet. We saw him like looking us all over and as he walked off, we were like, oh, he's a bit weird. And then he came back and he put his hand on my shoulder and he went, how did that happen? And gave my friend a really filthy look. And I was like, oh, I just fell over. And he went, you just fell over. Are you sure? Are you okay? And I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm good. And he went, and it's like, oh, look, it was so sweet that, he stopped to
Oh,
check because it does look like I've had the crap punched out of me.
you do look like a domestic violence ad.
I know, right? And I used to hide it, like when I'd have injuries, but oh, I look like I've been fighting.
Hmm.
And now I'm just like, it's part of my life.
It's just how it be, yo.
Just embrace it. But
Mm.
yeah, it was in the kitchen yesterday, and I don't know if it was the bench top or the floor. I'm not sure, but yeah, it whacked it, and it was quite swollen straight away. Like when I was coming out of the seizure, and I could see it underneath my eye. I could see my cheek because it was that swollen. And the paramedic gave me a cold pack to put on it. I was like, oh, that feels good. Yeah, it's feeling nice. And I looked at her and I said, does it look like it's going down? And she kind of laughed and went, no. And that's when it was already starting to turn into a black eye, like, a few minutes after me coming round. And I love the honesty. Am I pretty? No.
No, no. You are gonna be gross for days.
Yeah,
You
and I'm
know,
making a film tomorrow, so that's going to be an interesting makeup job. Looking forward to
just,
that.
just lots of foundation.
Yeah, and I haven't told the director because he might say no, so I'll keep it a secret until I turn up.
It's better just to just show up and be like, my partner hit me, and
Yeah,
then they have to let you in.
it's like discrimination and awkwardness.
Yeah, play
Anyway,
that card.
what's going on with you? Where are you in the
Uh,
world? You look like you're in prison.
I am in Tokyo,
Nice.
where we have been staying for the last week
Mm.
in a concrete box,
Right.
literally concrete on the walls. Three of the walls have been painted white, but the all of the cables and stuff are run in like these metal pipes that are fixed. So there's like no drywall, no nothing. It's just concrete box, and they stacked four concrete boxes on top of each other. It's got this crazy. The lift opens right into your room,
Right.
and you have to like use your key to do it. But no, we've been doing Tokyo hard out. Just going to all the different crazy areas and going shopping and looking around and seeing stuff and eating food. I came 16 years ago, and back then we didn't have phones that could translate everything.
Right.
And walking around, we always knew that, oh, because they have all the mixed story stuff. So there'll be like one floor will be a candy shop, and the next floor will be a massage parlor, and then the floor after that, there's a dance club. So there's
Right.
all these multi-story buildings. But now you can figure out what's in them. There's also a lot more written English around that there didn't used to be. So we've been
Ah,
going
okay.
up in lots of buildings, and like we went to a cat cafe on the eighth floor
Oh,
um,
nice.
of Shibuya. Um, and we went to the big Shibuya crossing, like the Shibuya Scramble, and had, you know, a Starbucks and watched everyone crossing the streets and stuff. And
Nice,
then
nice.
yesterday we went to Tokyo Disney Sea.
Oh, okay. What's that?
They've got Disneyland, and then
Yeah.
there's Disney Sea, which is another Disney resort that has the best theming. Like there's a Aladdin themed bit that's all kind of like a bazaar from Agrabah, and it's like being there, like you are in
Nice.
Agrabah.
Oh, I bet Lewis is
Um,
loving that.
yeah, Lewis loved it. Turns out Lewis hates roller coasters, and we
Oh,
made him
really?
go on a couple that he just like he just hated it.
Not his thing.
Um, yeah, so now we know not to traumatize him any further. Um, but Lewis has been loving it. He's just been like eating all the food. He's such a cool kid. Like we were at the sushi train and there's stuff going around and he's like, I'll just try that. Like when I was 10, I wouldn't eat anything I didn't love.
Yeah,
And he's
yeah.
just like, give me that random thing. I want to eat it.
So he's
Um,
fully embracing it.
yeah, he's really taken it in. Which is kind of what the whole point of it all was.
Yeah, yeah.
That and going to Disney. And you know what is really good friends with Disneyland is 100 micrograms of lysergic acid.
Okay. Did that make the day better or worse?
It got me through. Like honestly, my brain is so scrambled that like one tab, I'm just like, oh, I'm a bit peppy and I've got some energy and I feel not terrible. Um, but yeah, it was great. Like it did definitely like I noticed how sparkly the headbands were quite a bit.
Right, right. Just an added
Um,
element.
yeah, it just gave it a bit of extra spicy stuff. Um,
Can
but
I
today
ask
we're
how can I ask how how is your pain in general? Because you're struggling to keep your eyes open, aren't you?
yes, I am very tired. I was just about to take a nap when you messaged and we're like, "Hey, let's pod." Um, I'm coping much better than I thought I would. The I've got the extract cannabis stuff, like the oil. So I don't have
Right.
my flower, which is annoying. But the extract really helps. Like my ticks and stuff are pretty low, but my pain levels are still really high. Um, but I'm able to enjoy most of the day.
That's good. That's good. So, I mean, I think this is good for part of the podcast is living with the disability, and you're
Mm,
managing to do like something pretty fucking awesome. But at the moment now, I can see that you're struggling and you need to rest, and yeah, the pain side of it is getting on top of you. So it's really good that you've come onto pod whilst you're kind of in the throes of the shitness.
it's definitely like before I left, I did a huge psilocybin trip, which helped to get some of the mental blocks around stuff gone a
Yeah.
bit. And it's definitely like I find myself much more able to have pain. Like like yesterday, my legs were really sore, but I wasn't getting the wind up. Like my eyebrows weren't climbing onto the back of my head, and I could still talk and stuff, and I could still like be like, oh yeah, my legs are very loud. I
Yeah,
try and
yeah.
do that instead of saying like you have to say things like rather than saying like, oh, I'm in a lot of pain right now. You have to be like, oh, this is just my legs are loud, or it's I'm very sensitive right now, you know?
Right, yeah. I guess
Um,
that's like when I'm really cold and I'm outside, say if I'm on my bike, and I tell myself when I'm going, oh, I'm so cold. And I tell myself, no, you're not cold. That's just a feeling. You're just feeling
mm,
something and trying
yeah,
to not get caught up. It's like when you're in pain, like from an accident, and you're lying there going, oh, it really, really hurts. And it's so easy to get locked in to I'm
yeah,
in pain. And trying to relax around pain is feels like the most you should be doing exactly the opposite. You should be protecting yourself, but you have to relax because that
mm,
tension isn't going to help it get any better. It's like one of the hardest things to do.
Yeah, and it's like the tension, like this is the weird thing with pain disease is that like the pain is the disease. So like the more you lean into those mental objects of I'm in pain, I'm a person who has pain all the time, I'm sore, it hurts. You really have to be like constantly mindful. And as soon as it comes up, you're like, oh, my legs hurt. Oh, no, they're just a bit loud.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
and you have to constantly be correcting that view so that you're in a right view of, yes, my legs are loud, but I'm still a human being, you know? And like, yes, my legs are loud, but I still want to walk around and look at stuff.
Yeah.
It's very hard to hold both the pain. Uh, sorry, I'm not
Yeah, that's right. No,
neck.
it's very hard when you're when you're excuse me, when you're in the middle of a pain flare. That's kind of overriding and overwhelming, and so it's really hard to put those things into place whilst you're having the pain. It's like it's easy
But
when you're pain free. It's easy to go, oh yes, next time I have pain, I'm going to tell myself these good things and I'm going to do these
mm,
good tricks. And then you get into pain, and all those things go out the window. And it's like I'm in too
I
much
read
pain to do the things.
I read a thing that people with chronic pain diseases that there's like something happens in the risk reward centers of their brains
Right.
because and it you know like if you're having pain all the time, so you're having this constant negative reinforcement cycle, that there's very little to incentivize you to do a risky activity, like go to Japan or whatever, or like or do things that you know, like I know doing my exercises and eating not too much crap will um is better for me, my pain. But when your risk reward center is screwed up, then you end up, it's hard to motivate yourself to do those exercises, and
Right.
you're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and it's easy to reach for the easy answer and the crappy food and stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, being in
Well,
pain fucking blows. But it's the last bit, and it's the difference between having pain and a pain flare, where like when the flare comes up, like for me, it's just like my eyebrows are back, my head's back, I'm like my body language goes funny, and I really do genuinely lose the ability to form words. It's very annoying.
is that when
Um,
the pain flare happens, is that kind of an instantaneous that you're just trucking along in your day and then bang, a thing happens, or do you feel it winding up?
it winds up, it's kind of slowly, like it kind of creeps up on you. But I do have like Michaela, my osteopath, she calls them like barometers. So like I know if my arms start to curl up, or if I start like leaning over, or my foot's dragging or something like that, I
Yeah.
know that like I'm getting into that territory.
Right, right.
Um, but yeah, it's definitely been challenging here in Japan, but it's also been really thrilling being able to be successful in touring around Japan. And like there's we learned a lot. Like the first couple days we went super hard out, and then we kind of learned a lesson. We're like, okay, we'll go out for a little bit in the morning, come back and relax, go out for a little bit in the afternoon, have some dinner. I mean, obviously Disney is a 12-hour marathon, but
Yeah,
like
yeah.
we've put guardrails in to try and like manage it as best we can.
Yeah,
Whereas, like, yeah, rather than being just out all day, constantly, never ending, I have to go out for a bit, and then I have to chill, and then I can go back out again.
yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, you are on holiday at the moment. Like when you get to the UK, you're going to be like working, you know.
Mm.
But at the moment you're on holiday and you get to do nice stuff. You don't have to go hard out every minute. And I know you want to cram everything that you can into the time there, but you've got a decent amount of time there to enjoy it and not have to rush around and
It was
stress.
definitely like the first couple of days, we were just like, go, do, 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 and then it was like, oh, I need a holiday from a holiday, and I was like,
Yeah,
wait,
yeah.
we're not doing this right.
No, I'm really proud of you for doing this. It's
Aww.
I know, right? Like, yeah, I
It,
was actually talking to the friend I was talking to, talking about earlier, the wife batterer. We're talking about you
gee.
because she came to your last show. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and she said that it seemed that you had, how did she phrase it? That you were having a really great time and you're all manic like your normal self, and it felt like it kind of dawned on you that it was tomorrow that it was all going to happen. And she said she could kind of see you shut down towards the end. Yeah, and she said that,
Where during my show.
yeah, yeah, your last one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. He said it's really good, but I was saying how you not being in the country, it feels weird because you should be in the country, but I'm so glad that we can, Zoom.
It's weird, like thinking I'm not gonna be back for 3 months. Like
Yeah.
I'm just, and this is like, and we've only been in Japan for less than a week, and it feels like I've been here forever, you know?
Right, yeah, yeah.
It's gonna be great. I just need to pace myself
Oh,
properly.
totally. And like medication wise, what did you
Hmm.
take with you? Because obviously there's all different customs and borders and stuff. What were you
So I
allowed to
took,
take with you?
so technically, medical cannabis products are illegal in Japan.
Did you stuff them up your butt?
Yes, I crammed everything up my ass into my enormous
Everything.
J pouch size of a grapefruit. I can't even hold much in there anymore.
True.
Fucking rubbish prison pocket.
Oh, you should have got yourself
Um,
a colostomy bag before you went, because no one's going to check that, and you could have stuffed a bunch of stuff in there.
well, I just kept them in the boxes and put it in my medicine bag. So I've got a full spectrum CBD oil and then another one that's got THC in it. Um, they got through fine.
So
Um,
technically, they're illegal where you are at the moment.
yes,
Okay.
but I have them in boxes with a prescription label on them from my country that
Cool.
matches my name and everything. So I tried, and like worst case scenario is they would have picked it up and been like, "You can't bring this in." And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
said, "Oh, sorry."
And this episode won't be out until after you're out the country, so you're safe.
Yeah, sure. Because I'm
So
sure so many Japanese customs officers watch Laugh Cry Die.
it's our only followers. It's quite
Yeah,
quite odd that all our followers are Japanese customs officials. I don't know why it's
we
fallen into that niche.
you gotta find your audience and go for it.
Do you know, it's probably in one of our earlier pods, we did have a tractor driving monk following. I don't know if you remember that. So with our Japanese customs officials and our Buddhist tractor drivers, we're really going for the odd market.
Well,
Okay.
someone's got to speak to these people, and it might as well be two spazzes.
Exactly. There's something in us that just calls to them.
Speaking of oh, and also 2 tabs of acid,
That's what you've had
but
today, or that you brought in with you.
no, that I brought in.
Excellent.
But acid is completely odorless and colorless, and they
It's just
can't
got
even
it.
like if you trained a sniffer dog to try and sniff LSD, they would always be tripping because of the it binds to their sticky
But th-
noses.
but they'd be really good at smelling out blotting paper. They'd be awesome at
Yes,
that.
they'd be like everything would find the blotting paper factory.
I think this
Um,
person is a calligraphist. That's
but yeah,
that's probably
really, like
that's what you'd use blotting paper for, isn't it?
I think the thing with the acid and the microdosing, the connections in your brain, it makes it easier to get out of that cycle of I'm hurting and I'm doing this. It makes it like those cycles are easier to shift, I think.
Right, right. So it kind of punches you in the
Um,
consciousness.
Punches you in the consciousness. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, sounds right.
Um, so I was, yeah, much more able to kind of like be mindful through the thing. And yeah, and I was like smiling and I had a good time, which I would not
Nice.
have had if I was in pain.
Yeah, yeah.
So I really think we need to push acid Christmas party.
Yeah, it's gonna have to happen.
I
Yeah, and you'll
was
be back in
talking,
time. What we need to do is you need to start me on a very low amount and start increasing my tolerance so that I
mm,
can have some and know what I'm going to feel like.
what we need is like to get like a warehouse and then a sound system.
And
And
fill it
then
with
like,
stuffed things. some fluffy,
And
soft
then,
pieces.
yeah, lovely soft cushions and sparkly lights in between two
Yeah.
things. Okay.
Oh,
I think
you.
I do need to go to bed, babe.
I was gonna say you look very sleepy, and I
Yeah,
would hate for you to push through that and be in pain later and not be able to enjoy your day.
no, but I'm glad even if it's a little bit rubbish audio and it's just on my phone, I'm glad we were able to get just something while I'm in the middle of going through Japan in chronic pain.
Yeah, and like even if we record, whenever we Zoom and we don't release it, I don't care. It's nice to chat with you, and I want to know what's going
Yeah,
on with
no,
your
no.
travels.
You're like you're saying before, if we end up not editing it and we just have a live stream, like it definitely gives a nice shape to my day, my like once a week chat with Naomi.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
okay, this is
It's
like
our
the start of my week, and then I have
it's like
a break,
it's
and then
a
I can get on with my
therapy.
life.
It's
Yeah,
a
it's
therapy
totally
session.
free therapy. 100%.
Free help. Yeah.
100%. Okay. All
Awesome.
right.
You're gonna
Thanks
have
for
some sleep
listening,
too.
listeners. We love you. We'll see you soon.
See you
Goodbye.
next time.